Welcome back to the Aquarium Shed, everyone. My name is Owen and today is all about the beautiful levitating moss stone aquarium. Now, some of you might have spotted in the background of my videos that there have been some updates to the moss stone aquarium recently. That's because I started a revamp project before Christmas but still haven't completely got round to completing the purpose of the video. And that's because I'm giving this tank away and I'd intended to wrap everything up with a little road trip vlog. But I can't do that right now because I can't drive anywhere. Nevertheless, the exciting news is that the tank is going to a good home and I've got something very exciting planned to take its space. Now, my friend who was having the tank doesn't have any experience of fish keeping, and the main thing he loved about this tank was its pleasing, simplistic aesthetic. So there are two purposes to my overhaul. Firstly, I want to make it so that the lid fits properly, since it currently hangs off the front slightly because of the hang on the back filter, and this slightly ruins the look. Secondly, I want to make this as simple and low maintenance as possible, and that means getting rid of the hang on the back filter, which can be a bit daunting and frustrating to restart after a power cut. So without further ado, I'll crack on. This is how I've adapted the tank to make it even more beautiful and much easier to manage. So, it's all nicely glued in place. I'm going to do a little test run and check that it's actually watertight, because the amount of silicone I've put on the edges is quite thin. I've tried to go for as minimal amount of silicone as I can possibly get away with it, apart from the bottom. I've just put as much as I want because you won't see it. But it's nice and sturdily in there, which is good. So fingers crossed, I shouldn't see any water go into the back bit until it reaches these points here, and that will let me know that it's watertight. Fingers crossed. So far so good. So I'm just hoping that water doesn't go into that bit at all until it gets to the top, and then we will know that we've got a nice watertight compartment at the back there, which means that when we finally get round to using this as a filter, come back a bit. The idea is that the water will go in for the intake, down and back up through here and out of the output. So the filter will be coming down through the foams. I'm going to put some biological media in the bottom there, some sponge pads in the middle, and then some polishing pads at the top. Water will come in through those holes that I've drilled, down through that, up through the filter pump, and back out again at the top. And so far, so good. Okay, so we're getting to the point now where it should start to overflow once it gets to those holes there. Yes, it's worked. Okay, and now the point at which it should start to come in. Oh, is it like a vacuum? There we go, starting to dribble in now. I have to get to a certain pressure point, I guess. And there you go, now we're starting to see water come into the side here. Fill up the filter, and that means I can now test whether or not the pump is working properly as it should. Unplug the kettle. There we go. We have a working filter. Ah, yes, I'm happy with that. And you can see what's happened once I put the pump in is that there is now a gap at the top there. Fantastic. I'm well happy with that. So I've been holding off on releasing this video because I was hopeful that we might soon be able to give the tank away, but nothing has really changed yet in terms of restrictions, and now my friend is moving house, so he's asked that I hold on to it for a little while longer. Which means I need to make space down here because I have a new tank arriving and I'm planning to rejig all the tanks on the rack. So I've decided to temporarily rehome the moss stone tank in my office. It'll be a nice thing to look at during endless days of Zoom meetings at least. So rather than ending on an awesome road trip sequence, here's me making the much less exciting trip of walking up 2 flights of stairs. I was ringing to give you your Secret Santa present.
My Secret Santa?
Yeah, so, well, because you said you would rather not have this tank until after you move now because it'd be easier. So,
yeah.
So I've moved it up here into the office.
Ooh.
Temporarily, and you can have it whenever you want then. I'll just stay up here until then.
Amazing.
But
So good.
your Secret Santa present was a light for it.
Oh, sick.
So I'm going to open the light and put it on, if that's alright. I feel like it's February now, so I mean Secret Santa is like dead in the water. I was going to get you some chocolates as well.